something that's very crucial and an important part of our everyday lives. When you turn on your television, you see newscasters talking to the cameras. When you even look online, on YouTube, there are people reporting information consistently. And when you have a degree in communications, you obtain the skills that you need to properly relay this information to the people, whether it's consumers, to people who need to hear something important, or even in the Christian gospel and spreading the faith. It's something that we all should learn to do.
And this week, a crossroads. The number of U.S. troops serving in Afghanistan has just surpassed the number serving in Iraq. It is by all measures a very difficult war in Afghanistan, and Martha Raddatz, who has reported so often from the ground there, is now the first reporter ever to fly in an Air Force fighter jet in a combat zone, as a pilot has to make a split-second decision about dropping the bombs.
News reporters, analysts, and responders are some of the most important people in today's society. They are most well known for sorting information to provide to the public and report on important topics going on within society, from the lives of public officials to corporate decisions that impact the people. A degree in communications is generally beneficial for a job within this category, and there are many graduate options and programs that assist in getting the job. There are many positions for this job opportunity, from general assignment reporters to more specific placements like weathercasters. There are ultimately many different variations and options for someone seeking this type of job.
So what is it that news analysts, reporters, and correspondents do? They gather information, prepare stories, and make broadcasts that inform the public about local, state, national, and international events. They present points of view on current issues, and they report on the actions of public officials, corporate executives, interest groups, and others who exercise power. In the news reporting field, there are correspondents. News correspondents are required to be the boots on the ground per se. They are required to get live footage or events that are happening currently. An example of this would be a military correspondent, which shows the public what is happening in the war, or a weather correspondent that gets live footage of the weather in different cities.
On a clear morning at Bagram Airfield, one of the Air Force's top pilots, Colonel Joe Beisner, makes a final check of his F-15 and its fierce array of weapons.
This is the GBU-31, a 2,000-pound GPS-guided weapon.
So this is the biggest one you have?
You bet. Almost the weight of a Volkswagen.
A bomb that could take out a city block.
Yeah.
You ready? I am ready.
We are part of a 3-aircraft mission this day. We quickly link up with the other fighter jets, providing what's called armed overwatch to 600 French ground troops patrolling below.
That southwest door, there's a weapon inside of there. We're expecting a ground team to go in there. They want someone from your flight's eyes on there.
The French air controller, who is with the ground troops, coordinates with the fighter jets as we fly through surrounding mountaintops and down through valleys. After an hour patrolling, we link up with a fuel tanker, well above 20,000 feet and traveling at over 300 knots. The boom is lowered to deliver gas.
In covering a story, reporters, sometimes referred to as journalists, investigate leads and news tips, look at documents, observe events at the scene, and interview people. They could also take photographs or shoot videos that will help them on the information that they get for the lead and news that they are given. They organize the material, they determine the focus or emphasis of the material that they gather, and they write their stories. And they edit the photographs or video material that they gather from the scenes. News analysts, reporters, and correspondents get around $25,000 to $52,000 per year.
The crews of the fighter jets seem frustrated by the insistence of the French to drop a bomb.
They sure are antsy to drop some bombs on friendlies.
They're not kidding, man. Guy got spun up really fast.
But the fighter jets agree to a second strafing run. Again, smoke rises from the tree line. The hostile fire stops. The strafing works. The French troops resume their patrol. Our jets return to the airfield, dropping as fast as we rose, prepared to take to the skies again the very next day. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Bagram, Afghanistan.
Education required for a news analyst or reporter is a bachelor's degree in journalism or mass communications, but some hire graduates with other majors as well. Upon graduation, many students have already gained much experience through part-time summer jobs or internships. Good word processing skills as well as computer graphics and desktop publishing skills are essential as well to becoming a news reporter or a news analyst. Students with a background in journalism as well as another subject such as politics, economics, or biology will have an advantage over those without additional background knowledge in moving beyond an entry-level position. Some reporters specialize in fields such as health, politics, foreign affairs, sports, theater, consumer affairs, social events, science, business, or religion. Some schools also offer a master or doctoral degree in journalism. Some graduate programs are intended primarily as preparation for the news careers, while others prepare journalism teachers, researchers, and theorists, and advertising and public relations workers.
Small broadcast stations and publications and online newspapers and magazines should provide some of the best opportunities. Weathercasters, also called weather reporters, report current and forecasted weather conditions, helping you give a better idea of what today is like or next week. General assignment reporters write about newsworthy occurrences such as accidents, political rallies, visits of celebrities, or business closings, and they are, of course, as assigned. Teams of reporters, they take photographs, write headlines, lay out pages, edit wire service stories, and write editorials. They, of course, are under great pressure to meet these deadlines, and they work tremendous hours. They do vary, though. All reporters must be at ease in unfamiliar places with a variety of people. Positions involving on-air work require a pleasant voice and appearance, as that's most desirable in the news order. Talented writers who can handle highly specialized scientific or technical subjects will have an advantage in this field. Reporters should be dedicated to providing accurate and impartial news, as that's what most people want, rather than a biased skewed view. Reporters should be dedicated to providing accurate and impartial news. The first one be truth and accuracy. Journalists cannot always guarantee truth, but getting the facts right is the cardinal principle of journalism. Journalism should always strive for accuracy. Give all the relevant facts we have and ensure that they have been checked. When we cannot ensure information is factual, we should say so.
The crews of the fighter jets seem frustrated by the insistence of the French to drop a bomb.
They sure are antsy to drop some bombs on friendlies.
You're not kidding, man. You gotta get spun up really fast.
But the fighter jets agree to a second strafing run. Again, smoke rises from the tree line. The hostile fire stops. The strafing works. The French troops resume their patrol. Our jets return to the airfield, dropping as fast as we rose, prepared to take to the skies again the very next day. Martha Raddatz, ABC News, Bagram, Afghanistan.
The second thing is independence. Journalists must be independent voices. We should not act formally or informally on behalf of special interests, whether political, corporate, or cultural. We should declare to our editors, the audience, any of the political affiliations, financial arrangements, of the personal information that might constitute a conflict of interest. Fairness and impartiality. Those stories have at least two sides. While there is no obligation to present every side and every piece, stories should be balanced and add context. Objectivity is not always possible and may not always be desirable in the face, for example, of brutality or inhumanity, but impartial reporting builds trust and confidence. Humanity is another point. Journalists should not do harm. What we publish or broadcast may be hurtful, but we should be aware of the impact of our words and images in the lives of others. Accountability is another point. A sure sign of professionalism and responsible journalism is the ability to hold ourselves accountable. When we commit errors, we must correct them, and in our expressions of regret, we must be sincere, not cynical. Listen to the concerns of the audience And journalists may not change what readers write or say, but will always provide remedies to when we are unfair. Another verse that shows the consequences of dishonesty is Micah 6:10. Micah 6:10 states, "Am I still to forget your ill-forgotten treasures, your wicked house, and the short ephah, which is accursed? Shall I quit someone with dishonest scales, with a bag of false weights? Your rich people are violent, your inhabitants are liars, and their tongues speak deceitfully. Therefore I have begun to destroy you, to ruin you because of your sins."
Ultimately, there are many, many options within the field of communications, and newscasting and news reporting, weathercasting, and so forth are only a very, very, very small portion of the choices and the options you will obtain when you get a degree in communications. Ultimately, our God is one of honesty, and one to less. And ultimately, our God is a God of honesty. And 1 Thessalonians 4:6 says, "And that in this matter no one should wrong or take advantage of a brother or sister. The Lord will punish all those who commit such sins, as we told you and warned you before." Christianity as a whole is revolved around communications, communicating with others and communicating information to others. And from a Christian standpoint, it's very important that we communicate truth and honesty within our own practices and job fields. The field of communications is one of the best places to provide these values and show them to the world. And ultimately, God values human creativity that expresses truthful or righteous principles. And this can be reflected in our own daily lives and through a degree in communications. Thank you.